TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Now, you wound up working in Canada for a little while. I saw some stuff you did up in Canada. How did you wind up going up there? Of all places, Canada.
You know, now that goes back again. I don't know about that was after Vince or
yes, after Vince.
Oh, so it was after Vince.
Yes.
Okay, this is where. Okay, this will fall right into place here. I'm going to take it back. After I left Vince, I was off for a while. Then I ended up going to Canada, and it was Dino Bravo.
Dino Bravo.
Dino Bravo's company.
Yep.
Yeah, and who are the other two brothers that were from there?
Gino Brito was up there. Tony Parisi.
No, not those.
Oh, the Rougeaus?
The Rougeaus. They were here in WWF
yes.
too. Okay, they were there too. That's where I met those guys at.
Yes.
And it's funny, this is where I met my tag team partner.
I'm going to talk about that. Yeah. You tug up there for the first time.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, it sure was. It sure was. You're right. Out of all places, I don't know. I guess it was just to either get away from. I actually wanted to try something different. I mean, the atmosphere there, and and being in Canada,
yeah,
and the food and the people and the different language, different type of money. It's not American money. They have Canadian money. I don't know what they call it. I know.
I know what you're talking about.
They had Canadian money.
Sure.
Mexico, their money is
the peso.
Called pesos, but Canada, they have their money. So. Mm-hmm. Again, it's one try something different. It was in the summer. My cousin Samu was there, and I don't know how I ended up. I guess Dino. Oh, that's what happened. Dino Bravo called me. That's how I ended up there. And they brought me up there to work against King Tonga, because I'm sorry to bring it. I know you had to schedule to work with.
No, go.
But King Tonga was the hottest heel there, like Piper was here in New York.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know. Did King Tonga come from there to here after?
Yes, he was.
I think he did after we did our thing.
You guys went.
I won another round, and he did end up coming.
Yep.
Here. Got you. Okay.
Yep. Do you have any memories of the matches you had with the Road Warriors up in Canada?
Yeah, they were pretty stiff. They were just some mean son of a bitches, in the ring, So, I mean, sorry for cussing, but they were just mean, mean boys, and. They hit me one time with that double tackle or that double clothesline.
Yeah.
Wrung my neck.
Wow.
I mean, but they were the hottest thing in Canada too. The Road Warriors. Besides King Tonga, because he was one of the top heels.
Yeah.
He had the karate pad. It was different. Me, I just came as the babyface, just like I did in New York.
Yeah.
And I was the babyface. I don't know if I had a tag team partner up there.
You tug with a couple different guys. I think you tug with Tony Parisi against the Road Warriors.
Yeah,
you tug with King Tonga.
Okay, we mixed it up a little bit, Yeah. And Samu was there too, my cousin, I think, right? And I stayed there. If I'm not, I was there probably a year or two. I think.
Yeah, you were there about a year.
About a year. So it was in the summer, going through the summer, the winter too a little bit, but not bad as the summer. The summer was beautiful. Yeah, so a lot of those guys. Yeah, that's what I remember the Road Warriors. They were another good friend. I mean, like I said, you create good friends in this business, and then there's just also people in the business you call friends. They're not your friends.
Yeah.
And those are the ones you got to watch out for. I don't have a whole lot of names to throw out there because it'd be great for the fans to hear it because this is real. But just be careful. That's even besides wrestling. Even outside the street, out in school, in high school, or wherever, you have friends, you just be careful who you call friend.
Yeah.
I mean, that's reality, right?
Yeah.
But I had a great time in Canada. I loved it working there. It was something different.
Yeah. You worked with Larry Zbyszko on the Indies a little bit during that time period. I don't know if you remember your matches you had with Larry Zbyszko.
No, you know what? I do remember some of those, but I always thought with Larry Zbyszko, he was another OG. Right? He was an OG at the time. But again, I was Tonga Kid. I was young. I think all of that got exposure from New York City at the time, right? That's how all this has happened, where I got all the indies, right? Bookings. Not like the indies now. There's so many indies out there.
There was only a couple back then.
Yeah, back then there was only a couple you can do, but now there's a lot of them. They're everywhere. Backyard wrestling, all that. Don't do that. You don't want to go that far. But Larry Zbyszko, all I remember, I don't remember any matches about the matches about him, but I did remember who he is, who he was, the background, who he was, because he's another legend too. And again, these are guys that I would sit home and say, wow, I wrestled this guy before. I've been here before, so it was a catchy thing with him. And these guys are old school wrestlers, they don't have all those leapfrogs and and flying headbutts, you know, and all the stuff that Chris Benoit is doing now, you know.
Right.
They don't have all those stuff they have, so it's totally different, you know.
And, you know, we started talking about it a little bit up in Canada when you started teaming with King Tonga, who would later be Haku, and you guys would have your success later. What do you remember about meeting him and teaming with him? Did you realize you guys had something special together when you teamed together in Canada?
Well, actually, now, was he a babyface or a heel?
He turned. He was a heel, and then he turned babyface.
Okay, and then I think one of those, he maybe came out to help me somewhere. I think that's how that happened.
Up in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had something special before we tagged.
Okay.
Me and my partner, until today, I can't wait to see him. I haven't seen him in 10 years.
Wow.
Since I left the Islanders from New York City, but we had something special before we left because all Island boys are like that. We stick together, like I told you earlier about the respect and where we're from and stuff like that.
Sure.
But wrestling is just a business. It's a business, a job, and just like any other job. Well, I take that back. Not like any other job. We pretty much kick people's ass for a living. You know? Yeah. But he was when I tagged with him, he was a great guy. Like I said, that was the first time I met him up there. And when I met him, it wasn't in the ring, it was in the dressing room. I already knew the story about him. I already knew the top heel was, and these Canadians kept talking about him. But then also I heard a lot of other things that he's a bad son of a bitch boy. He'd kick your ass in the bar. I mean, he was strong. Yeah. He wasn't just in the ring, but outside of the ring, that he kept his respect, and he beat up a lot of people. I mean, I've seen him beat up 8 cops, and he's a strong, powerful dude. You know, I mean, he was.
Were you there the night that he bit somebody's nose off in the bar?
You know, I wasn't there. No. You know what? I gotta ask him when I see him, because I don't know if he bit it because of me. I was there when he choked the shit out of Brutus Beefcake.
What happened? I've heard different versions of that story.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, there was in let me go back. Philadelphia. We were tagging the Islanders. We're tagging, and they were working against Greg Valentine. No. Yeah, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Yeah. They were called the Dream Team or
Dream Team.
Yeah, whatever was managed. And I guess we were chopping him too hard, and he went back and told Vince, you know, that we were chopping him too hard. And I guess my partner heard about it, and we had the letter, or they came to us and told us something that Beefcake was, you know, said something about chopping him too hard or something like that. I don't know, whatever the story was. Well, all I remember is, so inside the ring, during the matches, we were doing this, and then when we came out the dressing room, we had that rumor. So Tonga walks all the way across to the babyface, walked straight across to the babyface. He was in the shower, and he snatched him by the throat, and he held him up against the wall.
Wow. And
everybody tried to break it. I was there because I was ready to kick his ass, too. I was actually watching his back, my Tonga's back. I don't think he needs anybody to watch his back, because everybody knew that was Alpha Sika's nephew, me, talking about me. Yeah. They already knew who I was. And I was there to, you know, protect, you know, they didn't want to mess with me, because if they did mess with me, they'd figure, well, they're going to have to get it from the Wild Samoans, and they don't want to deal with those guys. You know, that's their nephew, you know. Right. But he choked them in the dresser. He choked them in the shower. Then he had him like about 2.5 feet off the ground. Wow. With just his two bare hands. And he held them up, and he was like, couldn't breathe. And so I guess one of the agents couldn't get him off. No wrestlers could have got him off. And I was just giggling away like, yeah, choke him. Yeah. So they ran across the hall and got Hogan. Yeah. Because he said that was his brother at the time. I guess till today he still say that his brother. They're brothers. Right. Well, he say his brother. I don't think Hogan ever mentioned his brother. Come find out later, he's not his brother. Yeah. So Hogan came over and talked. Come on, brother Tonga. Well, he had respect for Hogan. Yeah. You know, who wouldn't? Hogan's the legend of business, and so he calmed them down and he let him go. But all that started because he started to cry back to the office and said that we were chopping him too hard. Wow. I said, well, then you're in the wrong business. And you're in the wrong business. You don't need to be in the business. If you can't take a chop, then you're in the wrong business, which is true. Yeah. And anything in your body, the biggest muscle in your body are your thighs and your chest. Man, I mean, examine yourself. Yeah. That's the biggest muscle you have, is your chest and your thighs. Those are the only two biggest muscles in your body. How can you, I mean, look at how Blair's chopping guys now. Everybody, yeah. Look how, Chris Benoit will probably vibrate your body the way he chops.
McDaniel back in the day.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that was some hard chop. But there's no way you can hurt you unless you really hit you in your chest and your heart stops, you know what I mean? But that's gotta be some serious chopping for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Well, that's how that ended up. That was funny. To me, it was funny. So. Yeah.